What's going on, guys? It's Big Man Tyson here, and today is still June the 2nd. I just got done uploading my Let's Talk video, and I got pretty bored, so I decided to get back up and record me another video. I don't know when this video will be going up exactly. This I will not be sure of. It probably won't go up exactly June the 2nd when I uploaded my Let's Talk video. So with this one, this might end up being another Let's Talk video, more than likely. So I have no idea when this one's going to go up, but I decided to go ahead and record it. That way, whenever I want to post this video, when I feel like it, it'll be on YouTube for everybody to see. So yeah, I'm gonna just get into it. Okay, so pretty much, they showed State of Play, which State of Play, it wasn't too bad. I mean, I wasn't expecting anything to really be too big and too major. I really was not expecting anything big, like any big game announcements and stuff. Now, I know a lot of people had a lot of expectations that a DLC for Marvel Spider-Man 2 was going to show up, which I figure it was going to be very, very unlikely that a DLC was going to show up for Marvel Spider-Man 2. That to me just felt very, very unlikely, and I did not hold my breath to it or anything. I didn't have high hopes for it, honestly, so I ended up not being disappointed because I really wasn't expecting a DLC to be showed up at the PlayStation State of Play for Marvel Spider-Man 2. I was not expecting a DLC. I know for a fact a DLC is going to happen, obviously. It's just a matter of when they're going to do it, which I say they should be releasing a DLC this year. Now, this is just a guess, so don't, quote me on this because who knows when the DLC is actually going to be released, but surely it should be this year because I don't see why it wouldn't be. Because man, if there's no DLC for this game, that will suck, honestly. If DLC doesn't happen, but if it doesn't, well, then it is what it is. But there's likely going to be a DLC. There has to be, honestly, because there's a lot of they can do with the DLC. Because because when the dev, not the dev kit, no, I didn't mean not dev kit because that's more of a console type of thing when working on a new console. So pretty the dev menu, that's what I meant to say. So pretty much the dev menu got leaked. Not leaked, but the dev menu was in Marvel Spider-Man 2 before Insomniac Games had to patch it and people found Beetle villain. So something tells me, you know, the DLC is going to have something to do with Beetle, more than likely. So yeah, so when the dev menu was on the PS5 on Marvel Spider-Man 2, pretty much I didn't get to mess with the dev menu because it was already patched by time Insomniac Games patched it up. So by the time I heard about it, Insomniac Games done patched it up. So pretty much from a lot of the YouTube videos I saw, pretty much they showed Beetle in the dev menu, and I'm assuming they're referring to Beetle, the Beetle villain, pretty much, is what I'm assuming. And if that's the case, I mean, Beetle was a very interesting villain in the comics because of course Beetle was a super villain, but then later turned into a superhero, in the Marvel comics. From what they did, from years ago, because he was a villain of Fantastic Four, Iron Man, Spider-Man, Daredevil, and the Avengers in general. So it makes me wonder, are they going to go that route where, he'll start off as a villain and then eventually turn into a superhero, or is he just going to stay completely as a supervillain and don't bother going the superhero route? Because Insomniac Games do tend to do things very, very differently from the comics. So something tells me he'll probably just be strictly just a villain, and for Insomniac's universe, for Earth 1048. So that's likely what's going to happen. That's what I'm thinking, to be honest. But nonetheless, Marvel Spider-Man 2 is still truly an amazing game. I really like it. I think, in my opinion, Marvel Spider-Man 1 and 2 are the two best Spider-Man games Insomniac Games has ever made, in my opinion. They really nailed being Spider-Man in this game, honestly. because Marvel Spider-Man 2, the combat, of course, was amazing. Bouncing people off the ground is always going to be my favorite part of the game, and stuff. Like, everything about the combat is just so smooth, man. It was just so smooth, and everything. The web swinging is much faster. Everything about it is just truly amazing. Marvel Spider-Man 1 and 2 were the two best Spider-Man games of all time. Like, I would say Marvel Spider-Man 2 is better than the first, but I truly feel like Marvel Spider-Man 2 is just as good as the first Marvel Spider-Man 1 game they made. So whenever they come out with Marvel Spider-Man 3, I'm very curious on how the third game will top the first two. I do sometimes wonder about that, but that'll be many years to come, because Marvel Spider-Man 3, ain't going to be coming out for a very, very long time. Hell, that shit probably won't drop until the PlayStation 6 for all we know, because Marvel Spider-Man 2 didn't drop till the PS5. It didn't bother coming to the PS4 at all. So it likely could be the same thing, more than likely, honestly, but nonetheless, you know, it'll be worth the wait, just like how the second game was worth the wait. So I like Marvel Spider-Man 2, truly an amazing game, and I'll be looking forward to when the DLC arrives. Like I said, if we don't get a DLC, that's fine, but something tells me that there's likely going to be a DLC, because there's no way there won't be no DLC. Like, there's just no way it can't be. There's just no way it can't be. Because the first game had DLC, I don't see why this game wouldn't. So it's likely a DLC is going to happen, honestly. Because, man, I look forward to the Beetle DLC, because I feel like the Beetle thing could possibly be confirmation. I mean, sure, they could always change it up for the DLC, and it'd be somebody like very different. Like, it could be Chameleon. They could do Chameleon, or they could do Carnage, because with Carnage, they could go ahead and wrap the whole symbiote storyline and add Carnage to it, or save him for a whole entire game. But at the same time, it would be better to do him for a DLC, because Marvel Spider-Man 2 is a symbiote storyline. So to me, it would make sense to have Carnage, as a DLC, character storyline, and then with Chameleon, something tells me they'll likely save him probably for a whole nother game or something. They'll probably save him for Marvel Spider-Man 3 more than likely, because there's a lot they could do with Chameleon. Like, there's a lot they could do with Carnage too for a whole game, but they could likely, and I mean Insomniac Games could likely make them into a DLC. But this is just my guess. That's what I think could happen. But then again, Insomniac Games could throw a curveball at everybody, and it'd just be like completely different, and Carnage just be in like the third game of Marvel Spider-Man 3 or something. So that's always very, very possible. So who knows? We'll wait until the time comes. We'll see what Insomniac Games does. So if you guys enjoyed this video, be sure to like, comment, subscribe. I'm out, guys, and peace, and I'll catch you on the next one. Have a good day, have a good night, whatever time you're watching this video, and I'm out, guys, peace, and I'll catch you on the next one.